The A-line is good now. It is RTD's entire budget that is busted. The board's been told that they may need to cut bus and rail service by 20% or more. Our Marshall Zellinger explains how one solution might be hidden inside your wallet. But I bet you could have guessed that.
The number of people getting on and off the A-line is nowhere near enough to keep RTD's board from having to break the budget.
1/3 of our budget goes to overhead and 2/3 goes to services.
RTD board chair Patrick O'Keefe celebrated the 10-year anniversary of the A-line just after finding out RTD staff recommends $62 million in cuts, equal to 20% of RTD's service.
I know you can't do anything about the date, but is it responsible to be celebrating 10 years of the A-line while talking about cuts across the board?
I can't tell you how much I would rather not be talking about cuts across the board and talking about the A-line.
These are merely recommendations, and we're seeking guidance from all of you.
At a special meeting on Tuesday, RTD staff gave its recommendation to the board on how to close a $200 million deficit, which included $62 million in bus and rail service cuts.
I can't support. I suspect many of our board members, maybe all of our board members, cannot support, a 20% reduction in service.
Karen Banker is the Finance Committee chair for RTD's board and listed a series of ideas to make or save money.
The possibility of increasing fares, passes, and parking fees. Furloughing employees 1 day a week as opposed to layoffs. We've also briefly talked about reducing driver overtime, a small fee on event ticket sales like sporting events.
Another idea to raise money to prevent service cuts: ask voters for more cash.
We need to refer a ballot measure.
We need to have a serious conversation about going to the ballot this year.
I do think we need to try and go for a ballot referendum this year.
There was disagreement over going to voters this year or 2028. Remember, RTD voters approved fast tracks in 2004, and residents of Boulder and Longmont are still waiting for their train.
I struggle to say this with a straight face. You think you can ask RTD voters for more money and they'll gladly give it to you?
I think we have a lot of trust to earn back before we can go and ask for additional money.
For Next, I'm Marshall Zellinger.
RTD's board chair says their $800 million reserve looks more helpful than it is because it's not all cash. It's not like some Scrooge McDuck vault that you can dive into for gold coins. RTD is going to decide on cuts next month.